past couple of weekends. Thankfully for a lot of us this weekend, it was pretty quiet. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I've got some yard work going on like right outside my window, so if it gets any closer, it might get a little bit difficult to hear, but I'm gonna try to talk as loud as possible. So today, we've got a super simple experiment. I try to make a lot of these very simple things that you can find at home, find in the cabinet. This is the same reaction as the volcanoes that you make. I made them as a kid, where you have a paper mache volcano and you make the lava come out of it. This is the same reaction that we're gonna make, but instead of having it come out of a volcano, we're actually going to cap this and see what happens inside a jar when this reaction happens. So you'll need a couple of things. You'll need balloons. I just have normal party balloons. Doesn't matter what size, doesn't matter what color. I have baking soda, just regular baking soda from the grocery store. And I also have white distilled vinegar. Any kind of vinegar will work. And I also have a jar that I'm gonna put this in. You can also use a plastic bottle. I didn't have any plastic bottles, so I'm using what I have. This is just a jar that I had around the house. You'll need a funnel. I do not have a funnel, so we're gonna work around that. And just, again, this is science from home. We're using what we have, and that's what we're gonna use. So let's get to it. This is actually, what we're gonna do is we're gonna inflate a balloon, but instead of blowing it up like what you normally would, like if you were to blow up a balloon, you would put air into it. So that's normally how you would inflate a balloon. However, we are gonna put air into this without using any air from our bodies. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna take your jar, you're gonna take your vinegar, which is an acid. If you smell it, yeah, it's not great. It is an acid. So we're gonna put a little bit of vinegar in our jar or water bottle, whatever you wanna use, whatever you have. I put about a third full of vinegar. You probably don't even need that much, but that's about a third full. Put the cap back on that so I don't spill it anywhere. And then here's the tricky part, and here's where it would come in handy to have a funnel. I've poured some baking soda on a paper towel here, and I'm going to put this is a piece that I had from like my Instapot, but it's gonna help me pour some of this baking soda more carefully into a balloon. Like I said, a funnel would work the best, but I'm gonna use what I have. So I'm gonna pour some of this, and you know, inherently, since I'm doing this live, I'm probably gonna spill a lot of it. So that's, you know, you don't have to have exact amounts for this. I probably have about 2 tablespoons of baking soda in there. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna pour it into your balloon. And like I said, because I'm doing this live, I'm probably gonna spill it because that's what happens, right? So I'm gonna be as careful as I can and get as much of this baking soda into this balloon as possible. And a lot of this is falling out. Almost done. All right, and if you blow it up with just the air from your body beforehand, it stretches out the balloon just a little bit, and that makes it easier. So I've got a good amount of baking soda in this balloon. Now here's the tricky part. You don't want any of the baking soda to fall into your vinegar before you get the balloon all the way over the top. So what's gonna happen is when I put this balloon on top of the mouth of this jar, and then I push the baking soda in, it's gonna create a chemical reaction. And it's gonna inflate our balloon without using any air from our bodies. So I'm gonna put this over the top, make sure it's really secure, and we've still got our baking soda on the other side of here. It has not hit the vinegar yet, but as soon as it does, it's gonna create our reaction. So take the bottom of your balloon, or the top, whichever one you wanna call that, and put your baking soda in. And you can see the bubbles happening, that chemical reaction that's happening inside of that jar, and that is inflating our balloon without using any of the air from our bodies. So what's happening in here, again, this is the same reaction that you get when you make a volcano, but instead we've capped this, and we're keeping this inside the jar. So that reaction has stopped now, but the balloon is still inflated, and here's why. So when you have the baking soda mixed with the vinegar, we talked about how vinegar is an acid, baking soda is a base. What happens when you create this reaction is it creates carbon dioxide. And so we are actually capturing the carbon dioxide inside this jar, and because it has nowhere else to go, we've capped it with this balloon, it has nowhere else to go but up. So it inflates our balloon. Super simple, but super cool. It's almost like magic, but it's science, of course. So yeah, you can do this at home. I've had a couple people send me pictures of experiments that they've done at home in their house with their kids. I would love to see if you have a successful experiment. Even if you don't have a successful experiment, I'd love to see it. So you can send that our way on social media. But yeah, this is a super simple one, just how to create a self-inflating balloon. Vinegar, baking soda, balloon, boom, you're done. Tim, do we have any questions, comments, concerns at all? Tim is the producer in my ear. Okay, well, yeah, he said there's a lot of people saying hey, and just saying they're enjoying what we're doing with these science experiments. I love bringing these science experiments to you guys, so I hope you have a fantastic, fantastic Monday and the rest of the week. We've got some beautiful weather out there today, so take advantage of it. Tuesday, of course, I have to be a meteorologist here the next day. We're expecting storms as Wednesday, so make sure you keep a close eye on Wednesday. But the beginning of this week, it is beautiful. It's a beautiful day to do a science experiment. So you should try it out at home. We'll have all the directions online at cbs46.com. All right, you guys have a great, great Monday.